Hey guys, I'm back. I feel like I was gone for a while. But anyways, you clicked on this video because you want to know more about defining what success means to you. Now, in my last video, I went over the top 10 rules for success that I follow. And my hope is that at the end of this video, you'll define what success means to you. Also, at the end of the video, I will leave you with a hot tip for rule number 2. Now, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And if you would like to know more about my 10 tips, starting with tip number 1 for success, keep watching. Moonlight Mason, and this channel is giving you the tools to live that badass life. And part of my 10 rules of success, rule number 1 is definition. If you do not have a specific definition of what success means to you, you're going to end up like this ship. And now this ship just goes like this and all on the waves and the ocean and doesn't really have a destination. Are you living your life like that? Like just drifting in the wind? Well, if you are, you won't know when you get to success. So let's work with definition. Definition begins by setting goals. Now your goals, and we're going to go over this specifically, so you might want to take notes. They need to be 2 things I come up with, okay? Attainable, okay, and measurable. So attainable is if you have a goal and you want, and say like you're making $1,000 a month and you want to make $10,000 a month, right? Is that possible? Of course it's possible. Absolutely, it's possible to make $10,000 a month. But if you're now making $1,000 a month, and you want it to be attainable, you want to actually go to maybe, $1,500 a month or $1,200 a month. And then once you get to $1,200, then you can go to $1,300, to $1,400, all the way to where you get to $2,000. By doing that, you're also making it measurable. So you can always say, in 6 months, I want to go from where I'm making now, $1,000 a month, and in 6 months, I want to make $2,000 a month. So that will make it attainable and measurable. So now that you have a clear definition of success, meaning that you have to start with a goal that is attainable and measurable, I have come up with 5 areas that I feel are general areas that can work for just about any one of us. Feel free to come up with your own areas or to prioritize them differently, okay? Number 1 is health. Number 2 is your attitude. Number 3 is family. 4 is career. And 5 are your finances. Now let's break this down a little bit. We're talking about goals. Health. Do you have a health issue right now that needs to be addressed and you have been ignoring it? So one of your goals, now we're talking about the end one, which is being successful. One of your goals may be to be healthy. And basically, if you have a physical dis-ease or something that is, not right with you physically, you might want to do some research, or you may want to go get a physical and go to the doctor and start taking the steps to get that dis-ease healthy. Once you get healthy in that you're trying to work on, that could be your health success. Okay. Number 2 for under goals, maybe your attitude. Is there something about your behavior that bothers you? Do you do something that most people don't know about you, that's not really that you're not in agreement with? That can be a great goal for you to research, to work on, to do the steps that'll get you to where you're going to be, okay, that's resolved. And once you find that you have built an awareness That's really step number one. On your attitude of getting angry at people or of doing some kind of self-sabotage behavior to yourself, what is your attitude? What is your mental philosophy that you have? What are the pictures that are hanging in that mind of yours? Look at that and do the steps to make it right. And that could be one of your successes. Okay, we're down to family. Okay, so we're all busy, and maybe your thing is that you want to spend more time with your family, but that won't be specific enough. Maybe what you really want to do is spend more time playing with your family, doing something on a physical level. So you can say, okay, once a month, I'm going to write it down and I'm going to make it happen. And you and the kids, or you and your dogs, or whatever your family is, whatever defines your nuclear family, will go out and you actually spend time in a physical activity with your children or with your dogs. And you do that once a week. You'll say, I want to do this for 3 months, once a week for 3 months. So that's really easy to attain, and that's measurable. That's making it measurable. So once you do that and you do it for 6 months, you're going to be successful in that particular goal. What about your career? Let's say, for instance, you're in an entry-level position right now and you want to be Chief Financial Officer. Well, one of the things that you could start doing is start researching. What classes do I need to take? What degrees do I need to take? What do I need to do to become a Chief Financial Officer? If that's your goal in your career. Maybe in your career, you don't like what you're doing and your goal is to do YouTube full time. That can be a realistic goal of yours. And if it is, then you should do everything you can to research what it takes, what are the steps, where you need to improve to do YouTube full time. And you give yourself a time, like 6 months or a year, where you'll be making the income to replace the income that you're making at this job that you don't like. Once you do it and you're doing YouTube full time and you can leave that job, there you go. You've measured, that's a goal. It was measurable. You've accomplished it, and that was success. Okay, now we have finances. Finances is such a huge one, right? It has a lot to do with how we're brought up on our thoughts about money. It has a lot to do with how you treat money. Like when people give you money, like give you dollar bills, when you get bills, how are you treating that money? I've seen people like crunch it all up and put it in their bag. Or finances, right? Do you want to make more money? Be very specific. How much more? And by what time and when? And make it attainable. Don't say, like I talked about this a little earlier, like right now you're making, $10,000 a month and, you want to make $20,000 a month, and it's just some grandeur goal out there, right? You need to break it down and do the steps and take the steps to get there. And then once you get there, it's always okay to redefine your goals. So now that I've gone through all that, the question that I'm asking you is, out of these 5 areas that I named, and like I said, you can make up your own 5 areas, which health, your attitude, family, career, finances, which area do you feel would make the biggest impact, the biggest difference in your life? Which one? Okay, find the one that'll make the biggest difference and just choose one and start working on that one. What is that one thing? Well, I can tell you that one thing right now is get a journal, listen to what I just said, this whole video, stop it, take notes, and start doing your steps on defining what success means to you. Just want to leave you with a couple of things as far as me personally. My goals in life has always been Number one, to be healthy, and number two, to be happy. The reason that I know that I am successful at being healthy is because when I get my blood work at the doctor's, when I go for I don't go every year. That's another video. But when I go and get blood work at the doctor's office, and the blood work all comes back within normal range, okay, and I feel energetic and I feel healthy, I don't know. I feel like I've been successful at being healthy and that I haven't had any, diseases, so to speak. So the other thing is happy. That's me. Those are my two goals. And my goal is be happy. And I feel like I'm a happy person. And the reason is because when I'm not happy, because I am not perfect, I'm just like you are, and I have my down times. I have Justin Timberlake's new song, Happy in His Pocket or something like that, the words to that. I have that happy inside of me, and I know that I'm just going through a little phase, and that deep down I'm okay, and that I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy again. And so while I'm sad or going through something, I'm still kind of okay, and I still think that I'm happy. I may not be happy, but it's with me. I haven't lost it. To me, that's success. So please comment below. Let me know what your area is that you have to work on. Ask me questions. And my tip for rule number 2, which is passion, my hot tip for you to start working on that is start thinking about the toys, the activities, the games that you used to play when you were a child. Make a list of those. And we're going to get more into that in the next video. Thanks for being here, and I will see you soon. Bye.